Lately, scientists have been going insane. I mean, they love to discover new stuff and make theories about them and spend the next 1,000 years proving and discarding whatever theories they've proved. But what happens when they encounter things they can't explain? Well, that's what this video is about. These are 12 archaeological findings that drove scientists mad. Grimes Graves is an interesting site located in Norfolk, England, known for its unusual landscape of depressions. Due to many different opinions from different archaeologists, it became a mystery with a clearer and broader idea now. Unlike name might suggest, these are not burial sites, but they are believed to be the remnants of a flint mining operation. The site spans 90 acres, scattered with indentations, each thought to be the result of a collapsed mine shaft. Around 5,000 years back, the site represents one of the oldest known industrial areas in the British Isles. This ancient mining complex was active for approximately 1,100 years, during which Neolithic people extracted flint, a crucial material for making tools and weapons before the advent of bronze. Today, some of the best preserved shafts are accessible to visitors, who can descend ladders and explore the conditions in which early miners worked. These miners use simple tools like deer antlers to extract the flint, laboring in dark and challenging conditions. Sultan Hall, an elegant old stately home in Shropshire, England, has long been associated with a curious mound in its backyard, a feature that has piqued the curiosity of its owners for generations. Despite their interest, no one had explored it until August 2021, when archaeologists were finally allowed to investigate. Upon excavation, they uncovered votive offerings, which were left by religious pilgrims, and the remnants of sandstone walls. The discoveries are still in the early stages, but there is a growing belief that these could be the remains of an unknown medieval castle. Interestingly, near one of these walls, archaeologists also found pieces of waterlogged timber, which could potentially be remnants of a drawbridge that once spanned a moat surrounding the castle. The architectural style of the walls aligns with those typical of castles constructed in the region between the 13th and 15th centuries. Sultan Hall itself was not built until the 17th century, suggesting that by then, the memory of the castle had completely faded. The discovery of religious artifacts, such as small vessels of holy water and tiny crucifixes, adds another layer of mystery. The Bourne Stone has given scholars and historians, though time, figuring out its markings, remains a challenge. This mysterious artifact once served as a doorstep for a Native American meeting house in Bourne, Massachusetts, during the 17th century. However, the stone and its carvings suggest it is much older, though its exact age is unknown. After the meeting house closed, the stone was moved to various trading posts in the 1930s before being placed in a museum for closer study. No convincing translation of the stone's message has been found. In the 1970s, historian Barry Fell proposed that the markings were an ancient Iberian script, interpreting the inscription as, "I proclaim the annexation." This stone says Hanno takes possession. However, much of Fell's work has been discredited. Later, language expert Michael Barnes disagreed with the Iberian theory, suggesting that the markings are more likely petroglyphs created by ancient Native Americans. Unfortunately, the mystery remains unresolved, as no living Native Americans can decipher the characters. In a French city lies the ancient necropolis known as Urnfield, home to a mysterious 110-foot-high edifice. This structure has stood for over 2,000 years, yet much about it remains unknown. Initially, it was believed to have been constructed in the 1st century during the reign of Emperor Vespasian, intended as a funerary monument for Roman soldiers. However, this theory is increasingly being questioned. The pyramid notably lacks interior chambers or compartments, which are typical features of Roman funerary architecture. Moreover, the presence of ancient Druidic symbols etched into its sides suggests that the structure predates the Roman era. This raises the possibility that the pyramid could be far older than previously thought, perhaps even predating Roman influence in the region. It's conceivable that the Romans later built the surrounding necropolis, adding to the confusion about its origins. The large hole on one side, the result of an excavation by the Abbot of Castile in 1640, revealed no hidden chambers or artifacts that could shed light on its purpose. The true age and function of the pyramid remains a mystery. Archaeologists in China's Hunan province are experiencing a thrilling moment with the recent discovery of 4 ancient tombs dating back approximately 1,900 years. These tombs, located in Guiyang County, appear to have remained undisturbed until their recent unearthing, offering a rich cache of grave goods. To date, more than 80 artifacts have been recovered, showcasing a range of items including exquisite bronzeware, delicate silverware, functional ironware, intricate glassware, and finely crafted ceramics. Although the human remains have not withstood the test of time, the presence of silver earrings and pendants suggests that the tombs likely belonged to women. This insight, combined with the wealth of artifacts, promises to shed light on the social and cultural practices of the Eastern Han dynasty. Researchers are hopeful that these tombs will reveal new details about funerary customs and societal structures of the era. Angkor Wat Temple Complex in Cambodia continues to surprise and captivate with its ongoing discoveries in the 2020s. The latest find is a significant sandstone statue, believed to date back to the 12th century. This remarkable piece, likely once a guardian figure, would have stood sentinel at the entrance of an ancient hospital, one of several groundbreaking institutions commissioned by the visionary King Jayavarman VII. The Angkor Wat site has origins in the 9th century. Known for attracting around 2.5 million tourists annually, the complex is a treasure trove of architectural and cultural marvels. The recently unearthed statue, discovered just 2 feet underground, was found during excavations of the hospital established by King Jayavarman VII, who ruled from 1181 to 1220. Despite its broken arms and legs, the statue's fragments are intact, offering hope that it can be restored to its original glory. This discovery not only enriches our understanding of the temple's historical context, but also highlights the innovative and compassionate leadership of Jayavarman VII. For generations, the residents of Vancouver Island, Canada, have been puzzled by the peculiar sight along the shores of Comics Harbour. When the tide recedes, thousands of tiny stakes emerge from the ground, their origin and purpose a mystery. This all changed in August 2021, when a team of archaeologists conducted an extensive study and unveiled the true nature of these structures. The stakes, now identified as remnants of a vast fish trap system, are estimated to be around 1,300 years old. Numbering exactly 13,602, they form over 300 individual fish traps, making this the largest known fish trap system in North America and possibly the world. It's a remarkable discovery that sheds light on the sophisticated fishing techniques of the indigenous peoples who once inhabited the area. The historical significance of these traps seems to have faded from local memory, likely due to events in the 19th century. Following the devastating smallpox epidemic of 1862, authorities declared the traps illegal, and fisheries officers were ordered to dismantle them. However, rather than destroying the traps, it appears they were buried under sand, concealing them from view. It wasn't until an earthquake in the 1940s shifted the landscape that the traps were uncovered once again, their purpose lost to time in less than a century. After World War II, many Nazi-era artifacts were destroyed in Germany as the country sought to erase the remnants of Adolf Hitler's regime. However, not all former officers were willing to part with their possessions. Rather than destroying or surrendering these items, some chose to hide them away in secret locations. This appears to be the case with a recently uncovered location of Nazi memoranda, discovered within the walls of a house in the German during renovation work following a flood in July 2021. It was like a Nazi time capsule, includes newspapers from 1945, a revolver, a gas mask, brass knuckle dusters, winged eagle insignia, and a collection of Nazi paperwork. The decision to keep such documentation was highly risky, as these papers were valuable to the Allies and possessing them was considered a criminal offense. The careful preservation and concealment of these items suggest a desire to retain a connection to a dark chapter of history, despite the dangers involved. In 1975, an earthquake in Himachal Pradesh, northern India, uncovered a remarkable tomb that had been sealed for over 500 years. Inside, archaeologists found the astonishingly well-preserved remains of a monk named Sangha Tenzin, still seated in a meditative pose. What makes this discovery even more extraordinary is the belief that he began the process of self-mummification while he was still alive. According to local legends, the monk's self-sacrifice was a desperate act to save his village from a deadly invasion of scorpions. It's said that he entered a deep meditation, offering his life in exchange for divine intervention. As the story goes, a rainbow appeared in the sky at the moment of his passing, and the scorpions miraculously disappeared, sparing the village. His mummification process involved extreme self-discipline. It's believed he starved himself and used candles to dry his skin, a ritual intended to preserve his body in its meditative state. The preservation of his skin and hair suggests a meticulous process, reflecting a profound dedication to his spiritual beliefs and the well-being of his community. The Cretan hieroglyphs remain one of the great unsolved mysteries of ancient languages. Unlike the hieroglyphs of ancient Egypt, which were unlocked by the Rosetta Stone, these symbols have resisted all attempts at translation. Despite thousands of examples being unearthed, the key to understanding them remains elusive. The earliest instances of these hieroglyphs date back approximately 4,100 years, predating the similarly undeciphered Linear A script by about a century. For around 400 years, both writing systems coexisted before the Cretan hieroglyphs faded from use. Speculation abounds that these hieroglyphs may represent the Minoan language. However, since Minoan itself remains undeciphered, this theory is difficult to confirm. Scholars have catalogued over 832 distinct symbols, which might correspond to syllables or even entire phrases, hinting at a complex and rich language system. Unfortunately, the knowledge of how to read and pronounce these symbols seems to have vanished with the end of Bronze Age Crete. The allure of unlocking Cretan hieroglyphs continues to captivate historians and linguists. Ancient Romans took security to the next level. Discovered in the River Rhine in Germany in late 2017, this unique piece of jewelry wasn't just an accessory, but a sophisticated security device. These puzzle lock rings served a practical purpose, particularly in the secure transport of money or goods. The mechanism was designed so that only the sender and recipient, who knew the solution, could access the contents. This made it an effective way to prevent couriers from pilfering the valuables they were transporting. While some rings could be bypassed by flipping open a faceplate to reveal a hidden padlock, this feature was not standard, adding another layer of intrigue to these ancient devices. Dating back around 2,000 years, the oldest known Roman mask locks showcase the cleverness of Roman engineering. It's speculated that these rings might have been inspired by even older Celtic designs, hinting at a cross-cultural exchange of ideas and technologies. The rings typically featured a small compartment to hide items like jewels and could also serve as a binder for larger objects, such as bags, to ensure their contents remained secure. These puzzle lock rings remained in use until around the 3rd century, coinciding with the decline of the Roman Empire. The artifact not only reflects the Romans' love for puzzles, but their immense wisdom. The ancient astronaut theory is a topic that sparks intense debate. On one side, there are those who are captivated by the notion that extraterrestrial beings or time travelers visited our ancestors millennia ago. On the other, skeptics dismiss the idea as pure fantasy. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence cited by believers is the mysterious cave paintings of Tassili N'Ajjer in the Algerian Sahara Desert. These artworks are not only remarkably detailed, but also undeniably ancient, dating back at least 10,000 years, with some estimates suggesting they could be as old as 15,000 years. The intriguing aspect of these paintings lies in the depiction of humanoid figures adorned in what strikingly resembles modern astronaut gear, complete with suits, gloves, and helmets. This is in stark contrast to the other images in the caves, which faithfully represent everyday scenes and familiar creatures like animals, landscapes, and rivers. This raises an intriguing question if the ancient artists were drawing from their environment and experiences. What inspired these seemingly out-of-place astronaut-like figures?